Welcome to my virtual studio tour. This is SilverGlassArt Gallery here on the second floor of Whalers Wharf in Provincetown, across from the Unitarian Church, 241 Commercial Street. And this is a virtual tour of our studio and gallery. So I'm going to walk you around the outside just a little bit. So a couple of the specialties of myself. My name is Christie Andresen, and my studio partner is Elizabeth Zeldin. And Betsy does all of the fine art and the jewelry making, and I do all the glass crafting. One of my specialties is my corner pieces, which I make. But I have a nice array of designs. I tend to design very, very simply and down to the minimum. I have, of course, some traditional designs. My favorite windows are these little windows up here. They are little tiny 11 by 6 stained glass panels with plenty of room for color and experimentation. I retired these about 20 years ago and I brought them back. I just love them. And then a slightly larger version, very, very arts and crafts, which is really what this is, arts and crafts, mission style. So I'm gonna move over here. This is the other part of our outside display, and over here I have my softer value smaller panels. I call these my 2x. I have a nice array of my corner pieces over here. Again, back to some traditional designs and designs that I've created that are evocative from when I was little and living with my grandmother. These are my Passimentaries, and I have just a few of these, and these are meant to simply go over a doorway or in a half-round window. I really love making those. I've only made a few, but I love them. These are another staple of the shop, which are my Grape Corner pieces. This would be my traditional grapes, and in the background here you can see my soft grape corner pieces, which would go with this Passementary, and the more traditional grapes go with this Passementary. I have some really beautiful antique Chicago art glass luminescent moon faces that I've used very sparingly in the shop. There are very few left on the market and around the world. My rose corner pieces. So this is our beautiful outside area on our rotunda. It's just gorgeous here, and we are right across the way from Ross's Grill, which is a wonderful restaurant. I'm going to move you back here and try not to make you seasick. These are my really just very simple, double bordered with German hand-pressed jewels. These are my delicate butterfly corner pieces. Corner pieces are so much fun because once you get the outside construct, you can put anything in the middle. And although I do follow a plan, every now and then I have the opportunity to just do whatever I want. These are my arts and crafts blinds that I make. They are articulated. They can be made in a very limited variety of sizes, but they're lovely. I'm very proud of them. I always wonder why people didn't do blinds in stained glass. And here I am on the interior of the studio. In here, I pretty much have what I'd like to think of as sort of my larger work, my experimental work, my retired work, and my more expensive work. My very good friend Ricardo from RC Jewelry downstairs here in Whalers Wharf carries a lot of my more retail style of stained glass panels, meaning slightly smaller, very specific designs for his gallery space. He's my representative gallery. So here are some of my hand-painted blinds. I work with enamels on frosted glass. So here are some hand-painted blinds that I do. You can see I have some arts and crafts / Frank Lloyd Wright style panels here. Of course, again, we'll go with mission style. Some smaller panels. I do very limited fusing. The company whose glass I used closed many years ago. A lot of the colors are not available anymore. I had a nice run with my fusing. I did about 400 pieces, and I really only have just a few left. This is 3 tiles. tile across the top with pale blues and pale lavenders and clear. The middle panel with beautiful straw-colored glass and beach fronds, and then sort of a tidal dune, you know, right in front there. The other thing that I have here is I have my crystal blinds. I did a whole variety of these. I've only got 2 left. This one is Dune Grass. I'll just move this a little so you can see what that looks like. This one is Dune Grass, and this is a triptych that I did. This was quite an amount of extensive work, just coming up with the mechanism to hang all this. But this is Dune Meadow, and this is how my backyard was when I was little growing up here. Willow trees and beach grass and a swamp. I lived in a swamp. It was just fabulous. I was so lucky. Some smaller pieces, I'm very, very careful about what I choose for my smaller pieces. I tell people all the time that if I made Mickey Mouse heads and killer whales in black and white glass, I'd be a gazillionaire, but I just can't do it. So these are just some smaller pieces. Many of these are very limited, for in particular this beautiful dichroic bevel that you see right here. They don't make anymore. The German hand-pressed jewels, the colors have changed and they're really made in the United States right now. They're really not as nice. Here is a little bit of fusing that I did for the holiday season. I have some trees. I have my little angels that have wings, and some Mogan Davids, which were very complex. There's about 32 pieces in each of the Mogan Davids, but I love them. And these are just some really beautiful little fused tiles that I made. Water, beach grass, dunes, and sky. Each one is a little different. And they're just neck pieces, I guess you would call them. Very limited amount of earrings. I made earrings for a while, and then I just started making separate single pairs that I really enjoyed making, so I have some earrings. And I'm just going to walk you through up here. Beautiful limited edition, last of its kind RC Rondelle, and you can see that I also do quite a bit of sculpted wire work. Those are my roots, you know, 40 years ago, sculpted wire craftsman. And I include that in some of my pieces. There's another blind there, another fleur-de-lis, arts and crafts style, another of the Frank Lloyd Wright style. I call those my Prairie Windows. Those are limited edition and pretty much gone forever. The element that I build the window around no longer exists. This is a piece that includes some fused glass, which is the amber, and some classic bevels, so that was a lot of fun to make. The pineapple is the universal sign of welcome, which I love. Some traditional Celtic crosses. I love this Celtic cross. It's so beautiful. Simple cross with a beautiful circle. So you can see clear on clear, basically, right? Touch of blue. And of course, you change the window immensely by adding rich colors, and in this case, a little bit of sculpted wire. Here is some of my larger windows across the back. That one is a toll design that you see right there. And it has some fused tulips, geometric tulips. I'll show you my oyster window. Again, some of my larger windows. These are some of my fine art, my painted frosted glass, enamel, fine art enamel panels. Little bit of fusing with, instead of large pieces of glass, frit in the back window here. The sun is very bright, so some of the delicacies of the colors are missing at the moment. And then this in the corner is what I call one of my samplers, and really these have become an homage to glass. I got tired of working, excuse me, square. So there's a sampler. And then here we have an array of corner pieces. Excuse me. Some classic, some a little more modern. Here's a little bit more of my fused work, really the last of it. And there's the beginning studio tour.